Okay, this is a quick hits for today. So I was on the whole tirade with the blog, but there is one other same-sex book where she doesn't prioritize making like soapboxes and shit. She actually does a decent enough story. I think it started off as Star Trek fan fiction at one point, but then it mutated into like her completely her own setting or something. But it's called the Chronicles of Alsea, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, by Fletcher DeLancey, and it looks like sometimes you can wait for some of the sales. I mean, personally, I think I have the first three books right now. I've only gotten through the first book. It does take a lot of cues from Star Trek, so if it's kind of like more of a science fiction space opera setup that you enjoy from Star Trek, then you'll probably enjoy this. Um, she has kind of a setup like where people have telepathic bonds and empathetic bonds and all that stuff. It doesn't really go on and on about any current year stuff. She just happens to have characters that are gay or whatnot. Um, so let's see. That's the best way to say this. It's like I can appreciate it when people prioritize the story over everything else. So, if you're interested in having a same-sex couple story, but it's not just them. There's a multitude of other characters in this thing. But if you're interested in that angle, but without it having like a sad sack kind of like everybody hates me because I'm gay kind of storyline or something like that, if you're tired of those things, this book doesn't have it. They have fiction between like certain planets and everything because I think from the looks of it, one of the civilizations is not as far along as some of the others in this like conglomerate of kind of uplifted planet type setup. Um, but it starts off pretty simple enough. The very advanced starship gets KO'd in a space battle, and it crash lands on a planet that's not as developed in terms of tech. But it's also not a planet that's like stuck in the medieval times or anything. It feels like that planet's more like a current tech level Earth. They have regular weapons and internet and all that stuff. But it looks interesting so far. I've only read half of the first book. It's just because most of the time, like everything else has been put on the back burner for me because I'm writing Uplift Protocol. So now I understand the whole thing of writers not having enough time to read as much because they're writing. So yeah, there you go. So if you're looking for something that prioritizes story and characters above any kind of political claptrap, then I'd say give this series a try. Check out the samples, see if it catches your fancy. See you later, everybody.